According to Sean Ali, there is a legitimate argument that the judges may have given Merab Devales the victory in the first bout. Although most people agree that the Georgian won the bout, Sean thinks the score was affected by judging errors at the Sphere. And he talked about this when he appeared on Israel Adesanya's show. Sean seemed more like he was attempting to understand how the cards read and where things fell in the cracks than he was offering an explanation. Even if Sean is dissecting it and examining the details, the reality is that this wasn't a razor-sharp battle. Sean remained calm, made shots, and never appeared overwhelmed, despite not gesturing like some of Merab's previous opponents. There was virtually no question about the result. It was obvious who was the superior man that evening, because to Merab's constant pressure, pace, and control. Therefore, it's reasonable for Sean to consider his areas for improvement, although both combatants and viewers agree that Fight was the machine from the beginning to the end. How do you feel about this UFC 319 rematch? Who do you have? Comment below.
On the judges' scorecards, I won round 3 and 5. Round 2 and 4, 100% he won. Round 1 was the one that gave it to him. And in my mind, if you go and watch round 1 with the commentating off, the body shots, I snapped his head back a few times. He took me down, he had me in a front headlock position. It looked to the judge, it may look like he's, going for a darce or guillotine or something, but he was just holding me there. He didn't actually do any damage. The number 1 criteria is damage in per round. Round 1, I did more damage. In my mind, everyone has their own opinions, but that fight was a lot closer than people think, and no one really cares to go rewatch it because it wasn't super exciting, and I don't blame them. But if you're gonna have an extra opinion, like no, just rewatch the first fight, turn the commentating on.
You're right.
And it's like it was the round 2 and 4 he dominated, and it made that's what sticks out. Kissing and shit. And I fucking almost died. And I look back on that. Herb didn't stop it. He didn't say anything. He said, "Hey, quit kissing him." Rob gets up. I go to fucking clock.
Patty Pimblett has openly taken aim at Justin Gaethje, disregarding Arman Tsarukyan completely and asserting that it's the battle the fans want. The nasty guy is suddenly in the mix at lightweight after defeating Michael Chandler via TKO. Even if he might not be the next to compete for a title, he is aware that his stock has unquestionably increased. Patty stated in a recent interview with BBC Sport that he plans to return to Abu Dhabi in October. He would also adore that battle if I were to win the title, but Patty feels the GI fight makes more sense now that Topuria is bound. Arman responded to X's criticism of Sukan by calling him irrelevant and labeling him a sit-well. Sukan also claimed that Patty's success was driven more by hype and shortcuts than by genuine hard work. Here's the deal, though. Although Patty is correct that a matchup between Gaethje and Pimblett would be exciting, many people find it offensive that he is dismissing Arman, a serious candidate who has been working hard to advance. This intersection is classic, merit versus entertainment. In the current UFC environment, hype can occasionally triumph. However, if Patty continues to sidestep actual dangers like Arman, the criticism will only intensify. Quote, "In October, I hope to compete in Abu Dhabi. I anticipate being back in the cage at that time. If he defeats Oliveira, I was afraid Ilia would confront me. I would adore defeating him. Although he is booked, I would still love to fight him if he wins the title. Therefore, I believe it's probably Gaethje. Justin, people genuinely want to watch Gaethje fight, and nobody gives a damn about Arman Tsarukyan. People are aware that the contest will be thrilling. Gaethje Tsarukyan is a complete tool, so it's me against him, and then Gage and me," finish the quote. In response to Patty, Arman, you were clearly spouting garbage with no intention of supporting it. Handouts, hype, and shortcuts to the top are the foundation of your UFC career. In a new interview with Deep Cut, John Jones finally spoke up about his future in combat, and of course stirred things up again with some subtle and not so subtle jabs at Islam Makhachev. When it comes to the pound-for-pound #1 dispute, the two have some history together. Jones, who is obviously not a fan of being ignored in that discussion, has previously made fun of Islam on social media. He has occasionally expressed respect for Islam, to be sure, but whenever Makhachev is in the news, Jones always finds a way to criticize him. The host named legends like Anderson Silva, GSP, and others in a word association game during the conversation. Before the name Islam Makhachev was mentioned, Jones praised everyone. John made no hesitation at all. He started out by hinting that he is only in Islam because Khabib raised him there. He only said that. No reference to legacy or skill domination. The tone made it obvious that it wasn't intended as a compliment, and MMA fans interpreted it as a backhanded way of stating that Islam is still trapped in Khabib's shadow. It was immediately noticed by fans. It was considered classic by most. Jones, John Petty, cunning, and unwilling to allow anyone else to take center stage without reminding them of the true monarch. Again though, are we shocked at all that
Anderson Silva?
He's my idol to this day.
To this day, I get nervous when I'm around him to this day.
George St. Pierre.
Masterful example.
Daniel Cormier.
Next question, please. No, I'm teasing.
You can give him a good one.
I'm proud of that man. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him.
Islam.
What is it called when someone's been brought up by somebody else? He's like a
Prodigy.
Prodigy. Yeah, he's prodigy. He's Khabib's prodigy. It's good to see his hard work pay off.
I want Islam in the chair one day. Just gonna put that out there.
You want on the chair?
Yeah, I want to interview Islam.
You heard it here, Islam.
Could we expect one more rodeo?
I don't know what life holds as far as fighting and competing. I do feel like I'll be a lifelong martial artist, whether I'm coaching others or taking exhibition matches or things like that. There's a lot of great competition still in the UFC.
Buckley doesn't hide his aspirations. He stated unequivocally that he wants a title shot rather than just a win if he defeats Kamaru Usman. Buckley aims to accomplish it in a devastating manner. In fact, he openly asserted that if he succeeds, he will deserve the shot more than Islam Makhachev. F. Buckley also mentioned a few bouts he would want to see in the welterweight division, demonstrating that he is considering ways to upend the entire weight class in addition to his own career. And the stakes are really high in this battle with Usman. After defeating Colby Covington handily, Buckley is feeling quite good. A performance that turned heads and showed that he's more than just hype. He's a serious issue. Kamaru, meantime, is in unfamiliar terrain. The former champion is looking for the spark that made him the pound-for-pound king, as he has already lost 3 straight fights. It would be a huge statement and might pave the way for a title fight against Jack Della or whoever is currently holding the title at the end of the year if Buckley defeats Usman the way he claims he would. There are significant stakes in this battle for both Usman's legacy and
This is it, I truly believe with the performance that I put on against Kamaru Usman June 14th here in Atlanta, there's no doubt, right, that the UFC should allow me and whoever else, to fight for a title. And, like I said, the next one is the belt, at the end of the day. Don't matter who it is, it's just that opportunity, that title is going to be around my waist. I say I put Ian Gary with Sean Brady. They already, chirping, they already talking about it. And, with that being said, Shavkat, boy, no telling when he gonna come out, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I can see him and JDM end up locking arms, and me, myself, and Islam fight for something special. Compared to some of the welterweight fighters, he matches up very well, right? With his strong grappling, his strong submission game, being able to be somewhat competent on the feet.